Role of women police in national unity. This is an area which draws our attention for the past role and expected future role as our women police force attains the twin goal of national unity and women empowerment, inclusiveness in security governance of the Indian state. Pauletta Brandstetter writes that unity rests on the strength of our principles. Of course, she is stating in the context of another large democracy with whom our security relations are growing from strength to strength, namely United States. One of the principal pillars is security, and hence today's main focus of RRU Samvad, Women Police, Security and National Unity. I was reading an interesting interview of a police officer, Jacqueline Urgeni of Rwanda, who has been serving in the United Nations peacekeeping operations in South Sudan. She narrates and exhorts how women, strong and effective, can be at building peace and unity of a war-ridden nation. As we all know, conflict in South Sudan impact the region and the mandate of the UN Security Council, International Peace and Security. But look at her vision and mission. A women police officer showing inspiration and courage for a unity of a different nation than on her own. It is indeed an epoch statement. India faces, besides traditional internal security challenges, the challenges of environmental pollution, depletion of natural resources, civil stripes, protests and violence, food security, water security. But some of these problems are related to more gender equality and hence equal value and participation of sexes in preventing, reducing and controlling these non-traditional security challenges is imperative. According to one consultancy report, in India, despite the fact that the government has announced that it is reserving 33% of police force positions for women, India's police force is on average only 7.28% female. Can we successfully meet these challenges, which are qualitatively and quantitatively bigger in terms of impact on security and unity than classical military challenges to unity? By the way, a number of statistical studies are done by external and internal agencies, consultancy companies, which can provide initial basis for strategic policy interventions. Modern and young India needs to ensure equity, diversity, and inclusion in the operations and effectiveness of law enforcement organizations, and hence it is imperative that all efforts are made. External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar laid the foundation of the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Center for Empowerment and Livelihoods in January 2020, mainly to meet the tourism and hospitality requirements of Kevadia. On the occasion of Sardar Patel Jayanti, it can be an apt contribution if each state is to establish dedicated center for women empowerment in law enforcement organization, starting with Gujarat, where Sardar Patel led the Bardoli Satyagraha, in which the role of women in preparing strategy for the success of Satyagraha remains a great study of its own. The Bardoli Satyagraha changed the destiny of India in many ways. As we all know, Sri Vallabhbhai Patel got the honorary title of Sardar after the Satyagraha. Then colonized India and now modern India too can rightfully benefit from the challenges of the 21st century by including women in law enforcement will decisively contribute to security of the modern India. Law enforcement has direct impact on people's perception about national security and by the same token unity. For example, if particular area is affected by domestic violence against women, the whole surrounding society thinks and gets concerned. The community asks, are our efforts and visions so less united to curb the violence? The thought of unity of vision and efforts come to our mind immediately. Similarly, if sexual violence happens against girls and women in any part of the country, the collective consciousness wakes up. We get united and defeat the evil forces. This is an area of concern. Female security and police personnel can and will significantly improve the quality. Studies show that there is direct positive correlation between reductions in crime with increased representation of women law enforcement personnel. Studies also show that as agencies employ more women, it follows with declining rate of homicide and domestic abuse of all kind. Besides reduction in crime and durable peace in the society, these are economically proven models and can make successful contribution in our nation too. When I say qualitative changes, I mean gender mainstreaming policies can indeed play an important role in raising women's position in the law enforcement agencies. It requires no reiteration that world over, law enforcement structures are dominated by male forces, and one important requirement is change of culture within the law enforcement organizations. Examples of Sweden, Netherlands, Spain and Austria suggest that such changes can indeed have positive long-lasting impact ranging from reduced crimes, reduced domestic abuse, better security perception and enhanced sense of national unity. Let me share some constructive and feasible ideas. Let's identify better women representative areas and share experiences, how it has positively impacted upon the security situation of those areas, whether and how there has been perceptible changes women law enforcement officers face in these areas, what women themselves, what local and regional policymakers, especially the state home departments and even the civil society institutions have done to overcome the obstacles and challenges. Our economic and financial institutions, with the help of institutions like Niti Aayog and the state planning commissions, can make effective business case for advancing women in law enforcement agencies. I am reminded of the work of Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, who as the UN Secretary General representative has been traveling around the world for women inclusiveness and empowerment, including through financial strategic interventions. Our Prime Minister's vision will be bolstered if he is to appoint a special envoy for all states who can make business or economic case for quality women participation in the law enforcement. Together with proactive initiative and concerted mission of our Union Home Ministry, the Division on Women's Safety and Security, we can achieve desired results. Is it possible that Superintendent of Police of each district, formally and informally, conducts dialogue with his or her staff, but also individuals and civil society, so as to increase role of women in community policing? When we talk of culture, how at district or even at taluka or block level police inspector can work towards changing culture so women can be better integrated into and become integral part of the law enforcement at the grassroots level. Can, for example, a male police inspector, or for that matter, women police inspector, work out simple practical tips which can create positive or encouraging versus toxic environment for women staff? Each of our state has police academy or law enforcement academy. It would be indeed useful if these academies can mark a particular program at every regular interval, monthly or quarterly, to better serve women representation. Besides law enforcement officials or staff, what are the experiences of women who work in law enforcement departments? For example, civilians and contractors. These too can be studied, as this is a vital understanding too. In nutshell, heralding a new era, working towards representative and equality culture, conducive environment for performance for women law enforcement officials, and positive affirmative strategies on promotion, recruitment and retention can indeed constitute our way forward to increase role of women in national security for national unity. With commissioning of women officers in our defense forces becoming reality and corresponding positive legislative, executive and judicial changes taking place in internal security structures and mechanisms affirming women's role and responsibilities, we all have reason to be reassured that at the end of this decade, we will see major transformations, increased role of women in national security policy making, enforcement and implementation, and enhanced national security directly helping us to achieve and maintaining the goals of sustainable development by 2030. Last week, I briefly touched upon the information technology industry and women empowerment in one of my meetings with my staff. IT has made a huge contribution to strong and economically powerful India singularly. I stand to be corrected, but compared to other major industries, women participation in IT is certainly high at all levels and results are there for us all to see. If quality participation of women can make turnaround, we require no more theories from academicians to prove that similar turnaround is impossible in security and law enforcement forces too. IT industry world over has broken all myths, removed barriers. Look at the confident and professional women personalities in this industry. We can attain the same results in law enforcement too. IT industry too began with male dominated setup, but it quickly overcame the gender disparity syndrome as the IT industry believed that it is going to benefit from the equal and quality participation of women. India is at the cusp of transformation. Our IT industry too can help our agencies, our policy makers, together with universities like Rashtriya Raksha University to bring desirable changes in fast forward manner. We at the Rashtriya Raksha University have established Center for Women Empowerment in National Security and Police, and we invite you to contribute by various means: academic programs, research studies, training and extensive programs, voluntary research internship, so and so forth. Besides the School of Internal Security and Police Administration, RRU IT School, Maritime Security School, Defense School, Criminology School, Forensic School, Humanities, Foreign Affairs and Political Economy School, Physical Education and Sports School all aim to inclusive education, research and training. And we hope that RRU will play a distinctive role in overall empowerment of women for our security forces. Thank you and Jai Hind.